So we're gonna get right into it. We all seen what happened in that first game. BMG just making huge plays, taking a little bit of a lead, and turning it into an unstoppable force. Really, they did take their time and played it patient, but that's what got them the win. So let's see if anybody changes up their strategy in this matchup here, in terms of the drafting. So Fusen's gonna ban out Tundra and Clanks. Imboboy's going to take out Tremble and Ravenor. A little bit of a respect ban there, but again, it leaves open the Wild Soul. And you got to wonder, are they going to pick up South Forest here? I mean, that could be the only strategy in my mind where you give up the Wild Soul willingly. And you first pick a Lodestone. I understand it might be vital to your strategy, and maybe they plan on picking him in the first phase here, and they didn't want to give up anything. But at the same time, Lodestone's not one of those heroes that gets banned. So the only thing I can think of is the rest of the heroes are giving away too much. They do pick up War Beast, so finally someone's going to take advantage of that. Let's see if he can use him to his full potential. I mean, just all-around presence that this guy offers with the Battle Cry. Pushing and scouting, we've talked about it time and time again. It's just powerful. So that gives Legion the opportunity to pick up Midas, who, once we know, is a very powerful hero, and they're going to follow up with the Rhapsody pickup. Now, Rhapsody is one of those heroes that can change a game completely. With a well-timed ultimate, that it'll just blow your mind, trust me. So we're going to take a look here over at Hellborn's side, and we're probably going to get to see Imboboy on his signature hero, the Puppet Master. Not much to say here. If you've ever watched Evil Corporation or Reason Gaming, you've seen it. You know what Imboboy is capable of on Puppet Master, and it's definitely something to fear. Now, that being said, they didn't take up the Lord South Forest here. I don't know if it doesn't fit into the lineup, but I've not really seen a game where Wild Soul was shut down other than that. So sorry, I had to address the chat for a second there. But yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised. I don't know if it's just me that has this overwhelming feeling that Wild Soul is a hero that is almost unstoppable. Now, maybe I'm going to jinx them in saying this, but we'll have to see. So we're going to get right into the second banning phase here. Once again, for you guys that are asking in chat, Break CPK is taking a little breather, a little R&R. Rest and relaxation with the family. It is the holidays after all. I hope you all are having a good holiday season coming up here. And spending time with his family like we all should do. So the guy deserves the break once again. I'm going to be covering for him. He will be back, our faithful leader, returning next week to cover the playoffs, which is, the pinnacle of the cycle, obviously. So he's going to be here bringing all the hype in for that. But back to the bans here. They take out Revenant and Behemoth. Behemoth managed to make it all the way through to the last ban of the second wave, which, again, kind of shocking to me that heroes like Lodestone and Rhapsody were prioritized over that Behemoth. But he just is so impactful in the game. So that being said, they do ban him out here, and then Imboboy's going to ban the Arachna. Thinking that, both teams kind of ran a carry and a semi-carry in the last matchup, we might see the same thing happen here today. So I'm not going to doubt these guys' banning capabilities. They've been doing this a lot longer than me, and their draft as well. I mean, I can say what I can about certain heroes being overlooked, but at least it's going to make for a more diverse matchup here. So we will get to see another Pebbles this game, and last game, the Pebbles was pretty good. I mean, he had a good impact on the game. There was a couple of questionable tosses and choices on who he was focusing on the Arachna, because most of the time she had a token, so it didn't really work for them. But still, he played it pretty well, and he's always an exciting hero to watch in the matchups here. And if anybody has an update, kind of type at Matthew Medical in the chat. Let me know how the Sync vs. Polymorph's going. I know that's going to be a close one. But they're going to come up here with the last pick for BMG. They could go a couple of different routes. They could grab a secondary initiator, or even a secondary carrier, or even a jungle hero with this. Well, no, not really a jungle because Wild Soul, but a solo hero, perhaps, if they're going to run Rhapsody Pebbles together. Or they could go any which way with it. I'm not sure. Against this team, they'd go with the Chipper. And that's a strong lane hero where he's going to be able to shut down this one of these lineups depending on who they pick up here. Prisoner. I think that Chipper will be okay if he ends up getting matched up against Prisoner. But the focus buffer, not going to be too useful in this game. There's not a lot of magic damage coming out. And as a result, he's not going to get that mana fill. He's not going to be able to pop it on, say, Pebbles, throw out a bunch of spells, and then be full up on mana again because he's probably not going to absorb too much. The Hellborn team wraps up their pick, like I said, with the Prisoner. So I'll have to see how they lane it. They have strong heroes here. I'm not getting, like, a sense of synergy that they had with their last team. You have the Prisoner ultimate with Lodestone ultimate, which can happen, but it's definitely not easy, especially with so many mobile heroes, the Elemental Warp, Wild Soul just being in general a really fast hero, and maybe even see some tablets coming out to kind of even prevent that as well. So there's going to be... Oh, let me fix that overlay for you guys. Sorry about that overlay. It was pretty quick. I caught it that time. So, yeah, let's take a look. Hellborn team's going to be the one that's bringing out their guns again. This time, 5 men up at top lane. They're going to get scouted out by this boo-boo. At least Puppet Master is. But he hasn't really revealed anything else. And they're using this Hellhounds here to kind of get an idea. Midas in the suicide lane. He's going to spot out Wild Soul down here. Not sure if he saw Chipper, which would have been some pretty good information, knowing that they're going to put Balthazar in the bottom lane. And wow, Balthazar is on Chipper. I didn't realize that for a second, that they put Teltook on Wild Soul. So I know they switched it up the other day. They had Teltook running a carry, I think, on Thursday. So he is a jungler, and that's probably playing into it here a little bit. But at the same time, we'll have to see how it pans out. And Balthazar has played Chipper before. I'm 100% sure. I've seen him play it. And, he's good with the hero. And up against a Lodestone here, it'll be interesting to see if he attempts to put a lot of hits in and harass the Lodestone a bit, or if he is just going to focus on last hitting with his rockets. A Wild Soul came in a little bit late, but ultimately he does manage to get the lane pulled just a bit. So that's drastically going to help out Chipper here. Where are these creeps? That was an interesting trick. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I've not seen that before, where they still had focus on the bear, so they came over into the jungle. He's going to do the pull, and now Chipper's got this lane pushed up all the way over here. So, yeah, we're going to take a look here. Now, all right, mid lane, we're going to take a look at this. Probably keep our eyes over here because this is another dual lane mid. And I'm glad to see that this is becoming more popular. Dual lane mid was always one of my favorite metas because it's just so action-packed. Once they came through with the jungle every time and a suicide, it got a little bit of stale for me. I mean, that's the best way to utilize all of the gold on the map, but... All right, we just don't see this very often, and that's why I'm glad that it's kind of making a comeback here. So it's gonna be Pebbles, Rhapsody versus Luna, Prisoner. I guess if Prisoner can land a hook onto Rhapsody, she'll probably be okay. I mean, Pebbles can drop the stun down. I would really like to see them matching up Prisoner against Midas, where you can kind of catch him off guard with those shackles. But at the same time, he did hook Pebbles here. And Pebbles can't really stun for himself. He did a little bit, but he takes a lot of damage in the process. Eating that Aluna throw, too, taking him down. He's going to force out that early health potion here. And that's all of his regen until he farms up the bottle. So Warby's still making his way through the jungle here. on good pace here, and that is near playing the War Beast too. So both of these teams, they're running with the, a ringer here, so shifting up the lineup a bit. I'll have to see if that has any impact on their gameplay here. Prisoner with enough mana for a hook here because he has his bottle ready, so we got that bottle relatively quickly. Sitting at 300 GPM, so he's doing a lot better here in mid lane than Boxy is at the moment. And just Aluna's much better at harassing with that power throw. Just puts a lot of damage. So let's take a look at the stats down here in the bottom lane. Yeah, Balthazar, it looks like he has been, putting a little emphasis on the harass, but Lodestone, as soon as he gets those plates and with a Iron Buckler, it's not really effective. Lodestone is almost on par with the farm of... Okay, up top, you have Midas hit level 4, and he's throwing out the initiation onto Imbaboy. Imbaboy's getting wrecked by these creeps, but he's going to turn it. Now he throws out the hold, but it's a little bit premature. One more auto attack will do. Again, these creeps will not let Imbaboy do anything. He throws in the auto attack. What is he doing? He's not going to chase the Midas. The Midas is going to somehow get away. I don't believe it. Oh my god! The penny throw with the clutch bloodlust kill. That was pretty awesome. I think that maybe Puppet Master knew Penny was coming, so he kind of played it back so that Midas didn't just TP out of there. So extremely well game sense. Probably some intense communication going on for this game here. For Evil Corporation, it's just showing right there that they're in it to win it here, and they're going to be working hard. So Lodestone's going to eat those rockets, but he will get rewarded with a refresher rune here. What happened to the rune up top? Uh-oh, Prisoner picking up a haste. Fusin with a massive juke, but it's not going to be enough. Prisoner knew where he was. He threw out that hook. Here comes a follow-up power throw, and Penny with yet another kill. It is going to be raining wards up in here. He already has red boots, and that's a great start for Aluna. You can't really ask for more. 2-0 here for Evil Corporation, so definitely a better start than the first game, and the rotations have just been on point. And I got to say also, looking at the teams, aside from Wild Soul, this Hellborn team, they have a lot better farm potential. The War Beast is going to be able to utilize that jungle, then start pushing towers when it's time for Puppet Master to rotate over. And the Lodestone not doing too bad. He's probably struggling the most on his team against Balthazar here, but that's to be expected. It's Chipper versus Lodestone, and yeah, okay, mid lane, there's a lot of action here. Another huge rotation coming out. Midas finds his way into mid, and BMG finally gets a kill on the board to even up that gold just a little bit. But Puppet Master playing it smart. He's going to do as much damage as he can into this tower. Unfortunately, denying that catapult a little bit early. I'm not sure if that was the right choice. Probably could have done a little bit more damage, but either way, Wild Soul is going to start speeding up his farm a little bit here. It looks like he just bought the makings of... I don't know why I want to call it a Vlad's Abyssal Skull. It just happens. Sometimes I randomly forget item names. But yeah, we're going to see a rotation here from Warbeast. He is level 6. Can he pop the ultimate? The rocket drill connects, and so does the head bonk. And Chipper's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to drop down that as an act of desperation. His ultimate, it's got a low cooldown, so... but at the same time, that's a huge rotation there by Nier. And now they're going to turn on to Wild Soul. Look at the auto attack damage already coming out from Warbeast. He's farming faster than the Wild Soul, and that kill's probably a big part of it. But I always love to see when a player like Nier, who's used to playing either in a secondary support role or a full support role, play on another role where, he's really good at making rotations. And you put him on a hero where now he's got farm and experience. It just makes it even better. So a nice kill there, and definitely a good rotation, I think, from Hellborn team. So Legion team's going to tag team these small camp was double or triple stacked in order to kind of channel some farm onto Pebbles, because Prisoner was having a better time in mid lane. Looks like that has changed slightly. I don't know if the stack had an impact on that or it was just the fact that Tank Effect got picked off earlier. But yeah, Pebbles is on his way. He's got Steam Boots delivered and a Mana Pot, and next item is probably going to be Portal Key. I will say that Pebbles is going to have a harder time finding kills with that Rush Portal Key in this game. There's not a ton of targets. Maybe Puppet Master. But he's going to be having the Assassin Shroud soon and a Luna, but the rest of the targets aren't going to be easy kills. There's no real follow-up to work with Pebbles until Midas gets a little bit higher level. Oh, but the hook does connect on the Pebbles. He's hooking a double damage Pebbles. Needs to be a little careful. That stun's going to come out, and here comes some TPs in. Will they commit? Midas is here. They decide to fall back. Prisoner has another hook coming up in about 3 seconds. Will he sip that? Oh, he doesn't have any bottle sips, but now he has enough mana on the hook. Here comes the ultimate from Prisoner. Free at last, but not able to get it off. Lord Almighty, he falled pretty quick. And Wild Soul joins the party. 4 heroes from the Legion side joined in the middle lane. Won't be surprised if they get the tower. And Lodestone going 1 versus 1 against the Chipper, who's had a considerable advantage on him. Lodestone mans up and gets a very crucial kill. That's going to be huge for Zane. I mean, that's Steam Boots, Striders, whatever he wants to spend that money on and experience. That's a big thing for him. Will Midas not get this deny? He will not. Good job here by Puppet Master using the Puppet Show to prevent that. It was pretty good timing. Pebbles here standing on... Okay, that's Fusen's Ward of Revelation, so he's okay. This invisibility rune's going to pay off. A Luna here, he's going to get tossed up. I'm sure he didn't want to toss him onto Wild Soul. They get the kill anyways. So make a quick work of Panny. Oh, I mean, hey, she was doing better than most heroes do, support heroes, so worth a little more gold than normal. And I'm sure BMG will gladly take that. Prisoner throws out a hook here. Just going to kind of pull the creeps over and prevent the lane push here because it's Wild Soul and Rhapsody. With a creep wave, they could do a lot of damage. Chipper now joining the fun as well. Making a very wise decision is Prisoner here, abandoning that middle lane. So, yeah, Lodestone is getting free farm down here at the time, but not for long as Pebbles is going to come down here. Maybe look to take over for a little bit. I feel like he might have a better time than Chipper, but in the meantime, he's going to stay hidden. There's no ward over here, so Lodestone doesn't really have a clue what's going on. He's getting a little bit of support from Panny, dropping on that Revelation ward. Let's see. Oh, a Lodestone channeling the ultimate. Can he get in the good position here? He does. He gets the full Shatter Storm off, and you see the Chipper is instantly melted. That's how he got the kill in the meantime. Up at top lane, Make is going to fall as well. Evil Corporation going 2-on-1, 2-on-2, making things happen. And Warbeast here activating that war cry, battle cry, putting in serious hits into the tower. At the same time, Boo Boo's ready to set up some kind of flank here. But he only has a support of Rhapsody, and right now this is kind of hindering him. He doesn't have boots on Boo Boo yet. He's really just tanky. Can he buy enough time with some body blocks here? He is going to body block Puppet Master. Rhapsody's following up with the stun, and the full team rotates up top here. And he tosses the bear on. Can we get an Entangle? Is Entangle even a spell on this bear anymore? I don't know. It's been so long. Warbeast is going to do his best to stay alive, but he just can't. There's too much collapse, and that makes the 5-man rotation top a little bit more worth it, I'd say. Now, there is going to be 1 TP bot. The rest are on cooldown, so I'm not sure why they're falling back here. I guess low health mana. And, yeah, Wild Soul's one of those heroes that's not going to fall down easily, especially with Steam Boots Abyssal already. That Panty hype in chat, you guys are awesome. Prisoner's going to go and wait for the 12-minute rune, maybe. No, I think he's just scouting out something over here. Yeah, but this turn of events, Boxy finally getting a couple of kills here. He did get 2 there a moment ago. He's working his way towards that portal key. And like I said, it's not going to be the, he's not going to have free kills raining from the sky, okay? But it is going to be, allow him to work together with maybe Chipper at this point to get some important pickoffs onto heroes like Puppet Master, who's really close to finishing his Shroud at this point. And we'll have to see if he decides to get active and let Warbeast kind of get back to farming in the jungle. I don't know. It's a little perplexing, the item choice. I mean, I imagine he's going to get active with it and still be able to farm up, so.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
BMG is going to get an easy free tower at bottom. Legion team needed that, really. That's going to put Pebbles even closer, and I think after this camp, he should have his portal key. But at the same time, Warbeast is taking advantage of the opportunity as well. He's pushing up top here. I think he's intentionally going to eat that Midas stun. It doesn't really scare him too much. He's got the lifesteal. As soon as he returns to the jungle, he's going to be back to full in no time. But Legion team at least got their hard camp stacked. The rest of the jungle, though, is pretty barren. And no attempt at stacking Ancients yet, which is surprising to me as well. We saw them both stack Ancients around 7 to 8 minute mark. Dude, I said head bonk. It's head smash. That's pretty close. You ever play Paper Mario? That's the Goomba's attack. Anyways, I'm a Nintendo nerd. That's where that comes from. Looking over here at Tankafet, he's probably going for a portal key of his own. There's not too many heroes on this team that will be getting them, but Lodestone is one of them. And the fact that he finished his is pretty important. I will say that somehow Zane's been getting by without it. This Suicide Lodestone is definitely the MVP 13 minutes into the game right here. Panty had a couple of huge plays too and some massive throws. Power throws, that is. But really just impressed with the fact that he's been able to hold his own here. So they're trading towers once again here. Evil Corporation feels comfortable with it. The Wild Soul is, focusing on pushing towers and not doing that AFK farming. So being that he is the sole carry, I don't know if that's the best decision. Unless Legion team's draft is screaming early mid-game takeover. Which it might well be. If this is the strat they're running, maybe they don't want to go against Puppet Master Warbeast in later stages, and that might be a good decision. But it's definitely risky if they don't start, controlling this map and denying farm right now. Evil Corporation is going to start to snowball out of control. I just have a feeling they're looking really, really good here. It doesn't feel like it's 6 to 5 kills. So Evil Corporation decides to not defend that tower and give it up. So, yeah, I mean, Midas is definitely the one struggling here, and Make usually finds some farm. But in this game, I mean, he hasn't gone in the top lane at all. In fact, the only person I've seen in top lane is Warbeast, and you can see that he has had free reign over that. He's even stealing their Ancients at this point, which just kind of tells you the opposite of what I was hoping to happen. Was that BMG would be controlling the map, but it's Evil Corporation. They're splitting up, they're breaking up the farm, and they're just disengaging any sort of team fight that they can have. Portal Key's now picked up on the Pebbles. He's had it for about a minute, but he has not made his debut yet. We might even see him tossing the Chipper into action, aka the poor man's Portal Key. So let's keep an eye on this little wombo combo over here. Those Hellhounds, though. They just ruined everything. So no more Sneaky Beaky initiation coming out, but they're still just going to sit Wild Soul on the tower. Warbeast porting in here. I think Hellborn is now going to set up the fight. They have an invisibility rune on Prisoner. They have the Assassin Shroud Odd Puppet. They get the Prisoner ultimate onto Midas, but Rhapsody, she's got their ultimate off. They finally cancel it. Lodestone coming in with the huge ultimate. It's going to pop off in the last second, and people are dropping left and right here. The last man standing is Pebbles. He's going to fall to the Puppet Master ultimate. Wild Soul's doing his best that you can drive in the trees, but he does not have a chance to steal any life. Here comes the Rocket Drill, and Evil Corporation cleaning up that lucky time to have an invisibility rune on Prisoner, allowed them to sneak into positioning perfectly, and BMG was not expecting that at all. That was just phenomenal plays, and it's just a continuation of what we've seen here in the first 16 minutes, that Evil Corporation going to try to show that they are still a top team in here. And even with a ringer, still putting on a damn good show. A Puppet Master returning to the jungle. He, after all, does buy the Whispering Helm, which means he's going to continue to farm the jungle here. Again, still a lack of ancient stacking, but there we go. Man, it's like you're in my head, Panty. What are you doing in there? I never know what you're doing in there. And Legion calls the vote to concede. What? That kind of came out of nowhere, but actually it's not really a surprise after all, because I think they felt the energy. They felt Evil Corporation's vibe, and they weren't having it. And they got games coming up here. Both teams again are playing in 15 minutes here, so maybe they come on a break, collect themselves, prepare. Sync Esports going to be Evil Corporation, Bad Monkey Gaming up against Nightmare Knights. Not much to talk about in that game. I mean, it was a quick one, but Evil Corporation going